What's up everybody, Music Man here, and welcome to this video. It's a short video I wanted to do for you, kind of a review. Hope everybody had a perfect 2018. Happy New Year's to all. Hopefully you had a good night. Didn't get too drunk. Honestly, I couldn't do it because I'm getting over a respiratory virus and sinus infection. I took my last antibiotic yesterday, so I kind of had to hold off on the alcohol a little bit, unfortunately. But yeah, during the Steam winter sale, for Christmas, I got some generous Steam cards this year for my family, and I think I got over about 25 games for the Steam sale. And one of these games I wanted to do a review for you. It's a very simple game, but it is so addicting, and it is called Heroes of Steel. Now this is a tactical RPG, turn-based dungeon crawler indie RPG set in a grim post-apocalyptic fantasy world. Coordinate your party of 4 heroes in turn-based combat and navigate a engaging world and story. So basically the storyline is it is the dawn of the 71st year after the world has fallen. So basically the world has kind of gone to crap, and you have these 4 people who have been imprisoned unjustly, and they don't know why. And so you get the sense that something is going on, so you have to try to escape and then go through these dungeons. Heroes of Steel, released April 23rd, 2014. Usually it is $9.99, but because of the Steam sale, they have it at 50% off at $4.99 until January 4th. So when you leave the main menu screen and start to play the game, you are faced with this screen. You have to choose your heroes. You have 4 heroes. So your first one, you have an Outlander or Dueler. You can choose between the two. Your Outlander has mostly one weapon. Your Dueler has dual wield, and you can use dual wield. You have the next one. You have Wizard or Sorcerer. Your Wizard can do good spells like fire and damage spells. Your Sorcerer probably does some conjuring and some healing and a little bit like that, and also some spells as well. You have and your next one is Cleric or Paladin. Your Cleric also heals. She has a good mace, so it hits really hard. And then you have a Rogue or a Thief. Now, I usually would like to go Rogue on that. You could do a Thief when it comes to lockpicking and everything, but each character has their own little set of skills, and it will, you can just choose whatever, and it will help you. One thing I do first want to mention on this game is the start of the game and dialogue. Now, the start of the game, basically, you are, like I said before, you have 4 heroes. They've been captured unjustly. They know that something's going on. They have an audience with this person, and they can't get to him because the soldiers are pretty much locking them up for good. So you have to try to escape there and start going through the dungeon. Now, your dialogue consists of basically, just one sentence at a time. So it's not like your usual CRPG where you're reading novels and novels of text, which absolutely there's nothing wrong with that. I love CRPGs. Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, a lot of great games, great stories. You can just sit and read for hours, but this is not one of those games. There is some reading, but it's a sentence at a time. They're usually not long dialogue, and you can just continue on to the game. So it actually makes you want to focus on more of the gameplay than dialogue. You want to get through this dungeon. Another interesting feature to this game is it's actually divided up into 4 episodes, including a prologue. So you could probably say 5 episodes, but it's prologue and episode 1, Death's Consort, where you have new enemy types, 26 dungeons, 2 towns, and then after that you go to episode 2, where it's 35 enemies, 32 dungeons, 6 towns. So each episode is getting harder and harder, and multiple dungeons that go through in these episodes. It adds to the length of the gameplay, adds to diversity, and adds to variety. Let's go ahead and talk about graphics. Now, usually in an RPG dungeon crawler top-down view like this, the graphics are not really going to be the strong suit because it's more about gameplay, story, than it is about graphics. Now, I could just say that the graphics, they're just basic. They're solid. It's a solid game. I don't get any problems or crashes or FPS dips or anything like that. It's a really solid game. Graphics are just very basic. And something like this, you're not really worried about graphics. You're more worried about gameplay, story, and mechanics. So graphics, very simple, and that's pretty much all you need. Let's go ahead and combine sound and music together because there's really not a lot going on here. And they probably did that for a reason. Sound, simple combat sounds, everything's pretty solid. Your simple opening doors, walking sounds, clunks with combat, sounds of swords. It's just simple clunks and whatever. It's not really anything to get happy about. It's just very basic. and I think for a game like this, that's okay. When it comes to music, you only have music that shows up on the main menu. And then you have music that actually shows up during combat. That's pretty much all the sound and music that there is. But pretty much for one of these games, something that's cheap, but more of a story gameplay mechanics. I think it's fine. Like I said, I wish they had a little bit more music while you go through the dungeon, more atmospheric, but I guess they didn't really go for that. But it doesn't really take away much from the gameplay. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the game's mechanics. Pretty simple though. Basically, each of your party members, it's turn-based, so you have during combat you have about 8 action points that you can spend on movement and combat. You have to choose wisely, be strategic, and use some tactics with your party. Also, after combat, what you can do is you can press G, and what that does, it stacks the whole party into one tile. Now, you want to hit space, highlight your tank character, because when you're stacked, you go into combat, it'll unstack everybody, and then you're left, if you have the wrong character up in the front of the line, then that character's still going to be in the front, and he has a good chance of being taken out early, so you want to have your tank at the front of the line when you stack. When it comes to leveling up, you have certain traits that each character has. Now each level, every couple of levels or every level will get you a new trait for that character. Also, you can go and click the character portrait, and that will show you their attributes, all their attributes that they have, and each level increases that. And I believe I tried to look and see if I could do that manually, but I don't really think you can do it manually. I think it's all automatic. Now I do want to talk about length when it comes to reviews and games like this. Usually a lot of people I don't think really take into account, they won't talk about the length of the game. How long does this take to beat? Now honestly, I have not beaten this game. I've played a lot of it, but I haven't beaten it. So what I use is I go to howlongtobeat.com. A lot of you might use that, or some of you might not even know about it. I'll put a link in the description for you. You can just type in your game and it'll tell you an average of how long does it take to beat. Well, on Heroes of Steel, they got it clocked in pretty much main story 28 hours, all styles 28 hours. So it's going to be roughly around 28 hours to beat this game. So in conclusion, when you take into account, graphics, gameplay, sound, music, and length, I think overall $5 is really not a bad deal. You get 28 hours of gameplay. Games like these are not focused on graphics or anything like that, but it's the addicting nature. It's a dungeon crawler, so you're just sitting there trying to go through a dungeon, and you end up playing for hours and hours and hours. So I think $5, it is a steal. You've got to get this game. It's really good. I actually agree with the $9.99 price as well. This has been my review for Heroes of Steel RPG. I do hope that you have enjoyed. If you like this review, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. And I do thank you so much for watching. Comment, thumbs up, and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.